Hello learners, we are moving to forms of business organization. In this session, you will learn concept of business organization, meaning of sole proprietorship, its features, merits and limitations. Then we can also learn suitability of sole proprietorship form of business organization. Whatever business activity one may take up, he has to bring together various resources like men, money, materials, machine and technology to carry out that activity very successfully. Not only that, these resources are to be put into action in a systematic manner to attain the objectives of business. Let us take the example of a rice mill. What all things the owner of that rice mill should do? He should acquire a land at first. Then he should construct a building in that land. Then he should buy machines and install it in that building. Without laborers, no organization can function. So, owner should employ workers or laborers. Then processing of paddy should be done in order to produce rice. After the production of rice, owner can sell it to the consumers. So various activities are done by the owner of every business organization. Thus, to produce rice from paddy, you need to assemble resources like land, building, machinery and labor. Then he should put resources in a systematic way. Then only it becomes possible to produce rice. After that, owner can sell it to the consumers in order to earn profit. So, in order to earn profit, so many activities owner should do. Thus, to carry out any business and achieve its objective of earning profit, it is required to bring together all resources and put it into action in a systematic way. Owner should coordinate various activities of that organization and control various activities. This arrangement is known as business organization. Have you ever thought who brings the required capital and who takes the responsibility of arranging various resources and who will put these resources into action and coordinate and control the activities of every organization in order to earn various profit? So, who is doing this activity? Yes, it is the owner of every business unit. If you look around, you will find that a small grocery shop is owned and run by a single individual who performs all these activities like collecting money, acquiring the building, placing required laborers and running the business. So, all these activities are performed by one individual, that is the owner of that particular shop. In big business, it may not be possible for a single person to perform all these activities. So, in such cases, two or more persons join hands and they will bring their money and manage the business properly. After managing the business, they will get profit and that will be shared as per the agreement. Thus, business organization may be owned and managed by a single individual or group of individuals. So, if it is a single individual owned business, it can be called as a sole proprietorship, and if it is formed by a group of individuals, it can be in any form like partnership or in the form of joint stock company. Such arrangement of ownership and management is termed as Forms of business organization. We have various forms of business organization like sole proprietorship, partnership, joint Hindu family business, cooperative society and joint stock company. But in this session, we will study in deep about sole proprietorship. Here is an example. Gopal runs a grocery shop in the local market. He buys goods from the wholesale market and sell it to the customers as per the requirement. By doing so, he earns some profit. He had started his business 2 years ago by investing rupees 1 lakh, which he had borrowed from his friend. Today, he is running his business successfully, earning a good profit and has been able to pay back the borrowed money. He has employed 2 persons to help him in this shop, and Gopal is the owner of this sole proprietorship form of organization. See how a person can manage a business by arranging all the resources, and he can earn a good profit. So you can also think about such a form of business organization. Now coming to the meaning of sole proprietorship. It is a form of business organization where one person is the owner of such business organization. Sole means single and proprietorship means ownership. So, single ownership, that is a form of sole proprietorship. A form of business organization in which a single individual owns and manages the business, takes the profit and bears the losses is known as sole proprietorship form of business organization. So, managed by one person, owned by one person, profit fully shared by him. That is sole proprietorship. You must have seen many more such business organizations in and around your locality. So, please make a list of such concerns engaged in different types of businesses. Here I have given you an example of Supreme Dry Cleaners near my house, where it is owned by one person. So you can also find out such organizations so that you can study more about these type of organization. Here is a definition of sole proprietorship. A type of business unit where one person is solely responsible for providing the capital and bearing the risk of the enterprise and for the management of the business. This is a definition made by J.L. Hansen. So, from the figure you can identify one person is managing about the building materials, the output, which are the variety of products that he should make. Like that, everything should be decided by one person. Thus, sole proprietorship form of business organization refers to a business enterprise exclusively owned, managed and controlled by a single person with all authority, responsibility and risk. Now, we have to study the characteristics of sole proprietorship. Till this time, we understood the meaning of sole proprietorship. One by one, we can go into details of characteristics. First characteristic, single ownership. The sole proprietorship form of business organization has a single owner who will start the business by bringing together all the resources. Another characteristic, no separation of ownership and management. Owner himself manages the business as per his own skill and intelligence. So, one person is owning that business with his limited intelligence and skill, he will manage the business. That is another feature of sole proprietorship. Then, less legal formalities. If you want to start a business like sole proprietorship, is there any much legal formality in that? Yes, you all know that there is no much legal formality. If you want to start a small shop, you can start it at any time according to the availability of the resources, that is space and materials. So that is the feature, that is the formation and operation of a sole proprietorship form of business organization does not involve any legal formalities. Thus, its formation is very easy and simple. Another feature or characteristic, that is no separate entity. Business unit does not have an existence or entity separate from the owner. The businessman and the business enterprise are the one and the same. That is, if a businessman is not well and he is deciding to close that business, means there will not be another person to manage that. That existence of that organization mainly depends on the owner. And the businessman is responsible for everything that happens in the sole proprietorship form of business unit. Another characteristic, no sharing of profit and loss. A sole proprietor enjoys the profit alone. At the same time, the entire loss is also borne by him. So, he is the sole person who has to suffer the loss that is occurring for his business unit. No other person is there to share the profits and losses of the sole proprietorship form of business organization. So, the owner alone bears the risk and reaps the profit. Another important feature of this form is unlimited liability. This is considered as a demerit also. That is, the liability of the sole proprietor is unlimited. In case of loss, if his business assets are not enough to pay the business liabilities, his personal property can also be utilized to pay off the liabilities of the business. So, if any business is running at a loss, then in the case of sole proprietorship form of organization, he has to utilize his own personal property, owned property, to clear the debts of the business. So, this is a demerit, and because of this demerit, we have formed other forms of organization in order to rectify this demerit of the sole proprietorship form of organization. Another characteristic, one-man control. The controlling power of the sole proprietorship business always remains with the owner. He runs the business as per his own will. He has to make arrangement for the building. He has to manage the workers. He has to make arrangement for money. So, everything is controlled by this person, owner, that is the sole proprietor. Now, let us move to the merits of sole proprietorship. From the characteristics itself, you can easily identify some of the merits as well as the demerits. Anyway, we have to give special attention to merits first of all. First merit, it is easy to form and wind up a sole proprietorship form of organization. No legal formalities are required to be observed by this organization. Similarly, business can be wound up at any time if the proprietor decides. So, whenever you want, you can start a sole proprietorship form of organization. Similarly, if you are not well or if you are not able to run it, you can go for another firm or you can wind up such an organization. So that is a merit of this form of organization. Then quick decision and prompt action as a merit. Nobody interferes in the affairs of sole proprietorship form of organization. So the owner can take quick decisions on various issues relating to the business. So if decisions are taken quickly, then you can act promptly. That will help in the efficient running of organization. In the case of big business organization, we are lacking this quality, this merit, that is, we have to discuss with so many other partners or members so that decisions will be delayed. If the decisions are delayed means actions cannot be taken in a fast manner, so that efficiency in the attainment of goal will not be so perfect. Then, as a merit, you can also say it is a direct motivation. In sole proprietorship form of business organization, entire profit goes to whom? To the owner. Owner can reap the profit, and this motivates the proprietor to work hard and run the business efficiently. Then, as a merit, you can say flexibility in operation. It is very easy to effect changes as per the requirements of business. Expansion of business activity also does not require many formalities in the sole proprietorship form of organization, because one man is deciding, okay, I want to expand my activities, so I will form my own branches. He can take decisions quickly and he can act quickly. It has flexibility in operation. Then, as a merit, you can include maintenance of business secrets. Business secrets are known only to the proprietor. He is not required to disclose any information to others unless and until he himself decides. And he is not bound to publish his business accounts. In the case of other forms of business organization, it is mandatory to publish business accounts. So, in the case of sole proprietorship, as he is not publishing his accounts, it can be in the form of a secret. Then, personal touch as a merit. Since the proprietor himself handles everything relating to business, it is very easy to maintain good personal contact with the customers and employees. By knowing the likes and dislikes, taste of the customers, proprietor can adjust his operations accordingly. Why you are going to one particular shop that you like? Definitely, the dealing of that particular owner or the salesperson will be very good. That will attract you as a customer. So, if you are the owner of that business and if you know the likes and dislikes of the customers, definitely customers will come to your organization if you are operating according to their wills, according to their desire. Now, let us proceed to the limitations of sole proprietorship. Every firm will have its own demerits or limitation. First demerit, limited resources. Yes, only one person is managing the business. So, the resources of a sole proprietor are always limited. Being the single owner, it is not always possible to arrange sufficient funds from his own sources. If you are going to a bank for getting money, you will find it difficult as you cannot show more assets to them. If you are a sole proprietor, then because of the limited fund, you will not be able to expand your business activities. Similarly, you will not be able to manage too many persons. There is a limit to the number of persons a person can manage. That is known as span of control. So, those limitations are there in the case of sole proprietorship form of organization. Then, as a limitation, you can include lack of continuity. The continuity of a sole proprietorship form of organization is linked with the life of the proprietor, capacity of the proprietor to run the business. So, if the owner is not interested, or if something happens to the life of the owner, then such a form of business organization will come to an end. Illness, death, insolvency of the owner will lead to closure of the business. Thus, continuity of business is uncertain. Coming to unlimited liability as a limitation. In the eyes of law, the proprietor and the business are one and the same. So, personal properties of the owner can be used to meet business obligations, and personal properties should be used to meet the debts of the firm, because business and owner are the same, are one and the same. Sole proprietorship form of organization is not suitable for large-scale businesses. Then, one person is managing the business and he may not be an expert in managerial field. So, limited managerial expertise as a limitation of this form. Always sole proprietorship form of organization suffers from lack of managerial expertise. That is, one person will have to decide how much he should purchase, how much he should purchase raw materials, how much finance he should collect, how much materials he should sell in this month. Like that, so many activities should be managed by one person, and he may not be an expert in all these activities. Now, you must have a clear idea about Gopal's business and its merits and limitations. Take the example of any other sole proprietorship form of business organization of your locality and analyze its activities, and try to find out whether the points discussed above are applicable to it or not. This knowledge will help you to remember the facts about sole proprietorship form of business organization in a better way. Now, coming to the suitability of sole proprietorship. We have studied the meaning, merits, limitations and features. So, we should identify whether this is suitable to all type of organization. The sole proprietorship is suitable where the market is limited, that is localized market, and customers give importance to personal attention. In such cases, this form is most suitable. It is also suitable where capital requirement is less and risk involved is limited. It is suitable for the production of goods which involve manual skill. Example, handicrafts, filigree work, tailoring, haircutting, etc. So, dear learners, you have learned concept of business organization, meaning and characteristics of sole proprietorship, merits and limitations of sole proprietorship, and suitability of sole proprietorship form of business organization. Hope you understood this very well. Thank you.
घर बैठे पाएं राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय शिक्षा संस्थान यानी NIOS में एडमिशन, वो भी एकदम आसान तरीके से, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को होगी समय और धन दोनों की बचत। NIOS से शिक्षा कभी भी कहीं भी। शिक्षार्थियों, क्या आप जानते हैं NIOS में एडमिशन लेने का सरल और सुगम तरीका, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को ऑनलाइन प्रवेश लेने में सहूलियत मिलती है। NIOS में प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया पूर्णतया ऑनलाइन है। शिक्षार्थी घर बैठे इंटरनेट द्वारा प्रवेश के लिए सबसे पहले NIOS की वेबसाइट www.nios.ac.in पर लॉगिन करें। अपना ईमेल आईडी और पासवर्ड डालकर अपना पंजीकरण करें। पंजीकरण के बाद लॉगिन करने पर ऑनलाइन प्रवेश हेतु आवेदन पत्र खुलेगा। आवेदन पत्र को निर्देशानुसार भरें और प्रिंट आउट लें। इस प्रिंट आउट पर अपनी फोटो संलग्न करें। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश के लिए शुल्क हेतु भुगतान के तरीके हैं: क्रेडिट कार्ड के द्वारा, डेबिट कार्ड के द्वारा, राष्ट्रीयकृत बैंक के ड्राफ्ट के माध्यम से, जो कि सचिव NIOS नई दिल्ली या नोएडा के पक्ष में देय हो। भरे हुए आवेदन पत्र के साथ साथ डिमांड ड्राफ्ट और संलग्न किए जाने वाले दस्तावेज हैं: जन्म रजिस्ट्रार के जिला कार्यालय से जारी जन्म प्रमाण पत्र की सत्यापित प्रति, जिसमें जन्म तिथि अंकित हो, पिछले विद्यालय से प्राप्त विद्यालय छोड़ने का प्रमाण पत्र, जिसमें आवेदक की जन्म तिथि लिखी हो। प्रवेश फॉर्म का प्रिंट आउट NIOS के संबद्ध क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों पर 10 दिनों में पहुंच जाना चाहिए, अन्यथा उचित दस्तावेज न लगे होने पर आवेदन फॉर्म रद्द किया जा सकता है। प्रवेश प्रक्रिया की पुष्टि होने के बाद शिक्षार्थियों को परिचय पत्र व अध्ययन सामग्री डाक द्वारा तुरंत पहुंचाई जाती है। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश एक बहुत ही सुगम और सुविधाजनक प्रवेश प्रणाली है। ऑनलाइन ऑन टाइम फॉर सेफ एंड सिक्योर एडमिशन।
करने राहों को आलोकित करने,
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलो